The movie begins with a text summary of how humans dominated the planet for thousands of years, but their arrogance led to their downfall. A man-made virus gave rise to an intelligent species of monkeys, but it had the opposite effect on people, robbing them of their intellect and the ability to speak. As apes and humans struggled to coexist, an ape named Caesar rose to prominence and sacrificed everything for its kind. And just like Julius Caesar, he was short, but so are all monkeys. The scene then cuts to Caesar's funeral, where his friends place flowers on his head and light his pyre to pay their tributes. Fast forward to several centuries later, the apes have formed distinct clans across the planet. We see three young apes, Noah, Sona, and Anaya, embarking on a quest to find eagle eggs for a bonding ritual. They belong to the Eagle clan, who celebrate a festival where the youths are tested. They must retrieve eagle eggs from the nest, but can only take two. If there are three, the eggs are then cared for until the birds grow up and are trained for hunting. The trio reaches the highest point in the forest and comes across a nest where they find three eggs, but since they can only take two, Noah has to find the third one for himself. He then climbs up the next cliff where a sun eagle's nest is present. As soon as he grabs an egg, the mother eagle launches an attack, causing him to fall. Thankfully, Noah manages to hold on to the side of an old building. On their way back, they notice that their horses are scared, and Noah's blanket is missing. Realizing someone is nearby, they follow the trail to a railway tunnel where they find the blanket hanging. Sona then bravely retrieves it after they run away. It is an old rule of the tribe that no apes should cross the tunnel, as they fear encountering humans, whom they call echoes. The trio soon returns to their village, where Noah's father Koro serves as the chief. The entire clan lives on wooden scaffolding built on high-tension electric poles. Noah climbs to the top to meet his father and places the egg in the nest. As the two chat, Koro notices human blood on Noah's blanket and asks if he crossed the tunnel. This scares the young ape, but he lies that he did not cross it. Koro then hands the blanket to his eldest son, instructing him to find the source of the blood. That night, Noah hears a noise in their fish storage and discovers a human girl hiding there. He tries to approach her, but she pushes him away and runs into the forest, probably looking for Geralt. This accidentally breaks the eagle egg he was carrying in his pouch. Worried, Noah meets up with his friends and says he needs to find another egg before the sun rises. They offer to delay their rituals to support him, but Noah is adamant on finding a replacement egg tonight. In the next scene, he gets on his horse and rides into the dark forest. Noah doesn't find any eggs, but he does hear a commotion in the distance. Upon heading in that direction, he is shocked to discover the dead body of an ape wearing masks and armor. Then, all of a sudden, his injured bro appears and warns him that the attackers are coming. Noah tries to inquire more, but bro sadly succumbs to his injuries. Just then, more apes arrive at the scene, prompting him to hide in the nearby bush. Silva, the guerrilla commander of the masked apes, becomes furious upon seeing his army dead. He also notices human blood on the blanket that bro was carrying earlier. It turns out they were chasing the girl whose blood was on the blanket. Unfortunately, Silva also finds Noah's horse and smacks it with an electrocution wand, Crucio, hoping it will lead them to the village. When Noah returns, he is shocked to discover the entire village in flames. The masked apes are capturing his clan members while repeatedly chanting the words, "For Caesar." A scared Noah then climbs up the burning scaffolding to save his father. Unfortunately, Silva notices him and starts following him. Noah somehow manages to free the eagles, but cannot save his father from the mighty commander. Korra ends up dying a painful death, while Noah is thrown off the tower. The next morning, he regains consciousness and finds the village entirely destroyed. Noah sobbingly buries his father's body while promising to avenge his death. He then proceeds to find the rest of his clan members on his own, but out of nowhere, Korra's eagle appears. So he hops onto his horse and starts following it. For the first time, Noah crosses the forbidden tunnel and emerges on the other side. He is taken aback to find the place filled with tall buildings where humans once lived. Despite knowing that it's not safe here, Noah keeps pushing forward. He occasionally stops to rest and eats whatever he can get his hands on. The following morning, Koro's eagle appears, and Noah attempts to connect with it using the chant his father had taught him. However, the bird denies his authority and scratches his arm before soaring off. ill. Noah chases after it into the dense forest, where he sees smoke. As he approaches the source, he suddenly falls through a glass ceiling into a trap. Noah quickly frees himself, after which he meets a hidden orangutan named Raka. Initially, the latter mistakes him for a masked soldier, as he's carrying the electrocution stick. But when Noah explains his entire ordeal, Raka realizes that he's not an enemy. Or so. The orangutan then reveals that his own tribe was recently destroyed by the masked apes. He survived by hiding underneath the forest floor, where he had built a large settlement. Afterward, Raka displays his collection of books to Noah, something which the young ape has never seen. He then explains that he's part of the Order of Caesar, a group devoted to the teachings of the true Caesar. These teachings form the foundation of many laws in ape society, which have been passed down for generations. Sadly, Raka is now the sole surviving member of the order. He further reveals that the masked apes are misusing Caesar's teachings. They serve a tyrant known as Proximus Caesar, who has started creating his own laws. Raka claims that Caesar was a great ancestor who believed in the strength and unity of apes, not the violence these imposters preach. He reminisces about a time when humans and apes coexisted peacefully, a belief that Caesar cherished. Raka eventually decides to help Noah find his clan, hoping he can also be a part of it. The two then pack their essentials and make their way out of the settlements. Later at night, they set up camp to eat whatever provisions they can scavenge. As they are engrossed in conversation, the girl suddenly appears and snatches 2 fruits. Noah tries to react angrily, but Raka stops him, explaining that the girl is just hungry. He then requests the young ape to give her a blanket for warmth. Initially, Noah refuses, as the blanket belongs to his mother. He doesn't even know if he's meeting her again. But then, Raka starts narrating about Caesar's teachings, emphasizing the importance of compassion. This eventually changes Noah's mind, and he gives her the blanket. Raka then names the girl Nova, after the human Caesar once befriended. Later that night, they come across an observatory. Noah looks at the stars through a telescope, and the girl follows suit, reacting with the same sense of wonder. The following day, the apes continue on their journey, and the girl decides to follow them. They soon come across a lake where a herd of zebras are gathered. Suddenly, a group of primitive humans appear to drink and bathe in the water. The girl, who is dressed in modern attire, is moved to tears, having realized that humans have evolved over time. Meanwhile, Raka gives Noah a locket with Caesar's symbol, advising him to follow his true teachings. In the next scene, Silva and his army arrive at the lake and start rounding up the humans for sport. They also spot the girl hiding behind Raka and attempt to get her. But in the nick of time, Noah arrives on his horse and escorts them away. Once they're safe, Noah watches the girl closely and tells Raka that she can speak. The orangutan is skeptical, as he believes humans are incapable of speaking. However, the girl stunned them both by saying, "My name is May." She claims to know where Noah's tribe is being held and offers to guide them there. That night, as others take rest, Noah repairs the electrocution stick he had retrieved from his village. In the morning, May leads the apes to a torrential river that they have to cross via a wooden bridge. The young ape is skeptical about crossing the fragile bridge. However, May assures this is the only way to get to Silva's campsite, where his tribe is currently held. Speaking of the devil, Commander Silva and his apes unexpectedly appear on the other side of the bridge and corner them. In the ensuing scuffle, May slips away and gets entangled on a neck below. Raka tries to save her, but he also gets caught in the river's thundering current. He attempts to climb back up, but Silva captures the other two before approaching the net with a knife. Just as the net is cut, Raka reminds Noah of Caesar's creed, apes together, strong, and gets washed away down the river. So much for his Oranga plan. Following this, Silva takes Noah and May to his camp on a rusted ship by the shore. It is situated next to a giant vault that the villainous leader Proximus has been trying to open for some time now. Upon arrival, Noah reunites with his mother and friends Sona and Anaya. They hug and cry as they're relieved to see each other after a long time. Meanwhile, May is taken to a room where she meets Trevathan, a human who speaks just like her. He explains that he has willingly submitted to Proximus, as he believes that humanity's dominance over Earth is a thing of the past. Trevathan explains that he created the electrocution stick and reads history books to Proximus. Through these books, fake Caesar learned about the great deeds of humans and twisted the original Caesar's teachings. Outside, Proximus and his apes are attempting to open the vault, which was left by humans centuries ago. They use gunpowder, chains, and several other instruments, but the door remains firmly shut. Trevathan warns May that if Proximus gains access to the vault's technology and weapons, he will establish an empire of apes and eradicate the remaining humans. months. Later, the treacherous ape invites Noah and May to dine with him. He speaks of evolution, believing that the technology within the vault will allow him to transcend ape kind and match human capabilities. He also tries to convince Noah of humans' intelligence and their threat to apes. Turns out Proximus wants Noah by his side because he is intelligent enough to repair the electrocution stick. He then demands May reveal her plan, but she refuses to speak anything. He turns to Noah and asks if she told him the way to the vault. However, the young ape asserts that she told him nothing. After dinner, a dejected Noah speaks to his father's eagle and expresses doubt about freeing his tribe. Just when he seems to lose hope, Raka's necklace reminds him of Caesar's teachings and that Proximus's rule is wrong. The sun eagle then senses Noah's resolve and perches on his hand as it readies to assist in their clan's struggle. Later that night, Noah approaches May and confronts her about her lies. He asks what she truly wants from the vault. May explains she is searching for something akin to a book that could restore humans' ability to speak. She recounts how a virus created by humans once made apes intelligent, but stripped humans of their speech. May then realizes the importance of teamwork and confesses she knows the way to the vault. The next day, they join forces with Sona and Anaya in climbing the hill to the vault. They plan to sabotage the vault's contents by getting them wet and rendering them useless to Proximus. They begin by spreading gunpowder under the raft, blocking the water. While they are at it, Trevathan sneaks up behind them and discovers their plan. He strictly warns them that their efforts are in vain because no one has ever defeated Proximus. May tries to persuade him to join their cause, but Trevathan reminds her that he has lost faith in humanity. In fact, he intends to inform his ape leader about this wretched plan. Left with no choice, May strangles him to death and disposes of his body in the water. After planting explosives around the dam, Noah climbs up the hill with the human girl on his back. The group soon reaches 3 large, old entrants that once supplied air to the vault. When they venture inside, they find the place completely deserted. May then powers up the vault and searches for her book, which she successfully finds inside a secret closet. The book turns out to be a deciphering key to activate a satellite system. Meanwhile, Noah and his friends walk through the vault and gape at its wonders. They come across picture books that depict humans imprisoning apes. This shatters poor Noah's belief that humans and apes once coexisted peacefully. He tries to talk about it with May, but they are suddenly interrupted by the evil apes. Proximus's lieutenant quickly grabs Sona, holds a knife to her throat, and demands May reveal her true intentions. But to his surprise, she pulls out a gun that she found along with the book and shoots him to death. She then detonates the explosives, causing the dam to flood the whole settlement. Chaos ensues as Proximus's apes rush to escape the rising water, while the Eagle clan begins to climb to safety. During this time, Silver pursues Noah as both of them try to save themselves. A fierce battle then ensues, but our young ape manages to escape through a narrow gap between the pipes. The giant gorilla also tries to follow suit, but he gets stuck in between the gap and eventually drowns to death. After barely making it out alive, Noah escapes the vault the same way he entered and reunites with his surviving clan. But just as they think they're safe, Proximus catches up from behind and attacks Noah. He single-handedly slams the young ape against the floor several times and leaves him half dead. He then tries to force Noah and his clan to bow before him and intends to kill them all afterward. But much to his surprise, Noah gathers all his strength and starts chanting a distinct song. Soon, the rest of his clans join him, and their combined voices summon their eagles. The fierce birds soon form a circle and start clawing at Proximus. Korra's sun eagle then delivers the final blow by pushing the masked leader down the hill to his death. Having done its work, the eagle returns to Noah and perches on his hand as a gesture of victory. "You're all right by me, kid. Whoa!" In the aftermath of this incident, Noah leads his tribe back to their village, where they begin the process of rebuilding their towers. The scene then cuts to a few days later. May arrives to bid Noah farewell, but he expresses his skepticism about humans. He echoes Proximus's belief that perhaps humans will always serve their own interests. May admits that her goal is to help humans reclaim their planet, but Noah questions what that means for the apes. She expresses her belief that humans deserve to reclaim their place, but the young ape talks of justice and claims that apes would lose their speech again if humans regain their technology and freedom. He recalls Raka's dream of apes and humans living together peacefully and wonders if that can ever be realized. May is moved by his words, and she tugs away the gun that she was holding behind her back. It turns out she had come here to kill him, but changed her mind after recognizing Noah's intelligence and his potential to preserve the ape kingdom. Before finally parting ways, Noah gives her the locket with Caesar's mark and reminds her it is very special. She takes the gift, thanks him, and heads to a satellite station base where she meets other humans. There, she is greeted by a woman named Corina. May hands over the deciphering key, which Corina and her team use to activate a network of satellites, enabling them to contact other human survivors worldwide. The movie ends as Noah takes his girl Sona to the observatory where they use a telescope to gaze at the wonders in the sky. Is that the Big Dipper, or are you just happy to see me? Subscribe for more videos like this, turn on notifications, and leave a like to help the channel out. Thank you for watching.